Lol, I just bought my Switch the other day.
Okay, testing, testing, testing. So, we're going to start in just a moment here. All right. So, welcome to my little, tiny, little podcast here. I appreciate you guys. Let me just, can I pause it? Yeah, I can pause it. All right, cool. I'm gonna pause it, take a listen to see if I can hear myself, and then we can start with the podcast here. If I can hear myself. Yeah, I can definitely hear myself because the microphone is up here, and this headset is like stupid. Either way, let's begin with this. Okay, so welcome to our podcast. I had some things to think about here. I was doing like the whole giveaway thing, and um, I needed people to actually share the video about the giveaway so people could like join in and grow the channel, but that didn't happen. So I'm going to be dramatically scaling back the giveaway. No one really joined it, and it's cool. It's more money in my pocket. So the next giveaway I'm going to have, unless something changes, will be The Last of Us Metacritic. Other than that, let's get into the Black Friday situation that we have going on here. So here's the thing: when it comes to the Black Friday, I was out there. I wasn't really shopping, to be perfectly honest with you, but I was doing some Black Friday. I was out there for Black Friday, pick up some damn cookies, no less. I do Black Friday online and stuff like that. And Google Trends, I don't know what it is exactly, but I guess it's like searches and stuff like that. And you can clearly tell here that the Switch is predominantly being searched. You know what I mean? There's this particular situation here where they had like the sad edition for the Xbox. Apparently that's kicking ass. I think it was like $150. But then again, you see shit like this where it's filled to the brim for with Xbox stuff like that. But then I don't think that any of this shit is actually accurate. So I went online and tried to scour the climate of everything, right? And I found out some things here. Some of the things that people were saying. So, for instance, somebody went to GameStop and he saw a new Xbox and used ones for $99. And basically, he was like, the only thing that wasn't sold out was the PlayStation 4. Who knows? The internet is full of trolly people. It may not be the case. But the sales were actually like $130 for an Xbox. for Xbox One X it was $350, and it came with 2 games. I mean that's pretty fucking ridiculous. Likewise on the PlayStation, it was 199, I believe, and it came with Horizon Zero Dawn, like three big games. I'm not exactly sure what the names are, but it came with 3 big games, big games that I'm sure it sold well, but people may already have it. So I mean, it may not sell. Period. To be perfectly honest with you. So, um, but that's what was going on, and I'm just kind of curious. I'm wondering about, because we all know that the Switch is actually has been selling out. Not selling out, I should say, but it's been kicking ass. It's been kicking all sorts of ass throughout the entire year. It's the top in the U.S., the top selling console. But the Black Friday deal wasn't that great. It was like literally, I think it was like $50 off or maybe $25 off or some shit like that. And I can see why Nintendo did it. There's a demand for it, so fuck it. You know what I'm saying? I would do the same thing. Um, so there's going to be a lot of fanboys talking about who sold what and why it sold and all this other craziness. You know what I mean? I believed, by the way, the PlayStation Pro, they had the Death Stranding that came along with it in some other game. And I think it's for $300 or $400, whatever. So it's probably 350, so around there. Sony looks like they're not trying to take any type of losses ever. Like, you know what I mean? They're trying to get the maximum amount of money. And of course, they could drop the PlayStation 4 to like $150 for Black Friday, but they don't get any money in that particular case. And if they're not making money, it doesn't make any kind of financial sense to do something like that. It doesn't make any sense at all, especially with the PS5 coming out next year. So it's like, who the fuck cares about the fanboy wars? At the end of the day, they want to make money, and that's what they're trying to do. Xbox, Microsoft, they need to put their console out there and sell as much as they possibly can and create that narrative like they sold top tier. So you gotta understand, like, there's going to be Twitter wars. There's going to be crazy scalding hot wars on Twitter and just the internet in general about this. On one side of the fence, people are going to say that the Nintendo Switch basically overtook Xbox in 2 years. In 2 years, they basically wiped out everything that they can possibly do with the Xbox, rather. And then on the other side of the fence, they're going to say that, oh, well, the Xbox beat PlayStation 4 because, it was supposed to be so good. How come they whooped their ass? I don't understand. Nobody wants the PlayStation 4. This is going to be it. The death of PlayStation and Sony. This was the last selling console. Oh God, man, these fanboys are incredible, man. I mean, that type of loyalty, they need to manufacture that type of loyalty for like the military or some shit, weaponize it, because I mean, some people sounding like they would put their life on the line for these corporations. I mean, I don't understand it, but I just wanted to provide some clarity and provide the climate as to what's going on. What it looks like, honestly, it looks like the Switch is number one, and the way that the sales are for Xbox, I mean, it's $130 and $100, and they come with games, and then you have the Game Pass. If they don't win this year, Microsoft they might as well pack it up. Just pack it up. You're done. But that's what it looks like. It looks like Sony may be third place. I mean, yes, they have big games coming out, or they're coming with the game, which is like what, $200. But those games, Horizon Zero Dawn and Spider Man, they already sold well. The majority of people probably already have it. I mean, all three of the games, together, one or the other. I don't think that that's really a selling point. And in terms of the PlayStation, what do you call it, the PlayStation Pro, that's not really selling anything at all. But I mean, Microsoft totally undercut Sony when it came to their consoles. But I don't think that Sony cares, because ultimately, if you're going to sell your console for that amount of money, you're not making any money with that shit. I mean, it's a last ditch effort. Next year is going to be the gaming consoles, the new consoles, and even when it comes to Switch as well. Yes, Switch is in a different demographic, but how long? I guess the question would be, how long is this going to last in terms of them selling? You already came out with your heavy hitters, Pokemon and the Zelda. Would you got? I guess they have another Zelda coming out, but I feel like without those reviews, I don't think Zelda Breath of the Wild would have sold the way that it sold, and it had that crazy demand. An open world Zelda game was a tantalizing prospect here. I mean, I just don't see that momentum, especially with the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Scarlet or whatever the fuck it's going to be called. I mean, especially with that coming out, I just don't see that really lasting. And it's going to be interesting because really, if you really want to call it, if you really want to call a spade, the Switch is actually already next generation. It's already in that field. You know what I'm saying? So it's one of those situations where the Wii U did so terribly that they had to kill that shit in the middle of the generation because the Wii U is supposed to be with the PS4 and Xbox One, but it did so poorly they had to kill that shit right there and then create another console. And that created the Switch. And then I don't, to be honest with you, I mean I don't know why it's selling. I mean I'm not even, it's not even on some hating shit. I don't know why it's selling. I don't get it. And you can call me a fanboy for that shit. I really don't understand why that is selling at all. You tell me. I don't think it has the games to sell. I mean, you got Smash Brothers. Okay. And then that was the end of it. I mean, Smash Brothers and you got Breath of the Wild. There's many, many games that is similar to Breath of the Wild on either console, the PlayStation or the Xbox. But I guess it doesn't have the Zelda skin on it. You know what I'm saying? Because essentially, the Zelda game is almost Ubisoft esque. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know why it's selling. You know, I don't get it. I don't get it. Call me a fanboy. Fuck it. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. You know. Um, but anyway, I did want to. I wanted to create this video or this podcast because I wanted to kind of create a part two for some of the things that I wanted to talk about as well. And I was just thinking about these patents. I thought long and hard with these patents. I just was like, I wonder what they're going to do with it. I really wonder. I mean, you can go watch the other podcast. I pretty much talk about it, talk about it originally and stuff like that. So I was just wondering what was going on with them, and then I thought about it on my playthrough of Death Stranding. Um, I'm thinking to myself, I don't think the strand system that they had in Death and follow me, I know I'm all over the place, but I don't think the strand system that they have for Death Stranding can really be applied to many games at all. So yes, it's a good system. But where can you apply it? You helping other people out and stuff like that. That's not how things work. That's not what people want, and especially the outcry that people that they had with the Death Stranding and how much they disliked that particular gameplay, and there was no redeeming factors or whatever the fuck you guys were talking about, that you copied online and never really played the game and you can't formulate your own opinion, whatever. Either way, I was curious to see where could you apply that, where could you apply that strand system, and I started looking at the patents for the PlayStation 5, and that that social media esque situation going on. So basically, as a recap, the patent suggests that the PlayStation 5's network could look at a video and identify objects within a video, and then collect or compile that information into some sort of metadata. So they gave some examples, and none of the examples seems pretty. They don't seem really practical. I mean, I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. I'm looking at it. I'm like, not really practical to be honest with you. Like, why? Why would they suggested that like you upload a video with within 2 minutes, like a 2 minute uploaded video. Okay. and then you share it, and then what then? What then? You know what I'm saying? So you share the video, um, and then supposedly the system could come up with some sort of system where you could it could find your level for you within that game and help you play it. To me, it just was kind of stupid. I'm not gonna lie, you got retarded ass patent. But the strand system that they have in Days Gone, how that works is that you get certain likes for putting things in certain places. What if, because you can't do this in 3D space, you can't track this shit in 3D space, but what if you're able to, um, let's say, like for instance, you're looking at Days Gone right now. Let's say that I uploaded this particular video and I showed, and it is showing people how to play it, and I tag it as something in particular. Like it already tagged it via the system that I'm in this particular area and I'm doing this particular mission. And so I tag it best way of whatever the case is, and it goes straight to PlayStation Network because this what this is it goes to PlayStation Network like directly. So, but what if people would search for this video, watch the video, and be able to like it just like they can like it in the social strand system that they have in Death Stranding. I mean, to be honest with you, I think that would be cool. I think that would be really cool. You know, maybe certain parts of the playthrough you can tag things and be like, this shit was difficult. Send that shit to PlayStation, and anybody that's playing that video or searching for that level or whatever the case is, because it's compiling all of that information. Um, they find it, they can either like it, they can comment on it. All of that is tied to the PlayStation Network, and that on a business level strengthens the you know the service and the people that is within the service. Um, it just to me it would look like a pretty cool thing. Maybe I can upload a video and I'm looking for a particular item, and let's say that this item is in this cave to the left or whatever the fuck the area is to the left, and I literally say it's here. And if I'm playing, and if somebody else is playing the level and they're looking for that item, they can literally search that item, and it's already marked with that video, and you can find it. And it just creates that cohesion, it creates that togetherness, and creates that family. I feel like that would be a pretty cool thing to do if they follow the whole social strand system. I mean, of course, they would probably have to pay Kojima to do some shit like that because he made this system. But to me, that would be the most practical, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, that would be pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie to you. I mean, you can't say that it wouldn't be cool. But honestly, what do you guys think? Like, what do you think about that patent? And what they're basically doing with it, because it's very hard for me to see exactly what they're doing with that patent. I don't get it. I'll put it to you like that. It's so crazy to wrap my head around that idea. To me, it's insane. To me, that I just cannot wrap my head around that whole patent. I couldn't if I wanted to. But it'll be interesting to have that idea. So we're going to move on to our next subject and our last subject for now, and that is this. So supposedly there was a conversation with Kojima, and he mentioned about the Death Stranding. If he makes a sequel, he basically also stated that he would like to work with Norman Reedus again. But then he also said some shit like he wants to restart from zero. Like, I mean, I guess he took that shit to heart, or whatever the criticisms were. He would probably revamp that whole shit. What he was basically saying, let me take a look here. Let me just try to add it. So he says here, if I were to create the sequel, he would start from zero. It's likely that he means that he's approaching it as a new project that has to bring something fresh rather than provide something more of the same. Um, He also stated as to why the game was what it was, you know what I'm saying, which ties into why he would probably start from zero. He says here, um, I wanted the player to become Sam, but gradually he does not. He doesn't know how to control himself at the beginning. Adding that you do until you get. Wait, you do it until you get. I can't even say it right. You do it until you get it right, like a baby learning to walk. So that explains that type of pacing that he had with the game itself. And it's like, well, I mean, I don't know. Like it's I've said this before. Actually, let me not lie to you. Let me not lie to you. I'm being totally honest here. I didn't know. I did not know. It's like we didn't know. I played Metal Gear Solid 5 or Phantom Pain, and it was all over the place. I also played Guns of the Patriots and Metal Gear Solid 4, and it was, I mean, it was just way too weird for it to be like a main line. Like it was way weirder than any other Metal Gear Solid game. It was just fantastical shit, and I'm not meaning that in a positive way, but it was just all over the fucking place. So I just didn't know how to take that, and it's like the more he distanced himself from the editors, whoever was working with him, the wilder his shit got and the more loose it got. And when I played Death Stranding, I love the game itself. And I can't wait to kind of like come up with the reviews and stuff like that. I love the game. The problem that I have with the game is that somebody needed to check his ass. And I say this again, everything's fine the way that it is, but if he was talking about making something profitable, somebody needed to check him. Honest to God, they needed to check him. It was he. Yes, he's overindulgent. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't stop the fact that it's a great game, but you have to think about the sensibilities of other people when you make the game and how they would feel and how they would digest your stuff. As I said in the other video, you can't just do whatever the fuck you want to do, especially when you're making something new. You have to kind of play both sides of the fence if you wanted something to come together and coalesce. The problem with Death Stranding that I'm noticing as I'm playing it is just like, man, the menu system's all over the place. Somebody needed to come there and be like, yo, you have too much shit going on. Why don't you do it this way? Why don't you, instead of having 18 different fucking button presses to do something, make it simpler for the user to actually do? You know, make it easier to see what's going on, you know, things like that. And it's like, you know, I just don't. I mean, when I look at some of the design choices, it didn't make any sense. It didn't make any sense as to what they were doing, what he was trying to do, um, and you need. I don't know what he was doing with the menu system. I don't get it. It seems like he wanted to have all these ideas, and instead of him thinking about what worked and what didn't, he just put all of the ideas there, and it just made the whole menu, the UI, just so fucking. It, it was so convoluted. It's not. That's the wrong word. It's all over the place. It's too much going on, and it's not easy to navigate. And that is a hurdle when you are making a game or when you're playing a game. You need to have a decent menu system, a decent UI, so you can navigate through it. When you have UIs, you're basically probably in a UI system for like 30 to 40% of the game, and that's something that you don't want to fuck up because it could grate on your nerves trying to find something that you need to find. You know what I'm saying? So that's when I said I wanted him to make it easier, not easier as in the game easier. He needed to actually make it easier to understand in terms of the menu system. In terms of the story, I'm not going to mention any spoilers. I just wanted to put that out there. But he's talking about some heavy shit. You cannot just throw that out there and expect people to immediately absorb it. You have to. He's talking about walking baby steps. That's not a baby step. What the fuck you're saying? None of what you're saying is baby steps. There is ways of handling it. When you went to grade school, I'm sure you can guys. I'm sure you guys can remember. They didn't just start you off with fucking trigonometry. You know what I'm saying? And it was like, oh, bye. I mean, I hope you get it. You know, that's how the world is. You learn how to add and subtract, and then from that point on, you learn how to multiply and divide, and then from that point on, you learn fractions and decimals, and you just keep layering it. At one point of the game, he starts talking about some things. You don't know too much is what's going on, and then he just blah, broosh, just laid everything down. It's like there's too much going on. There's some time. There was a time in the game where, you're kind of learning a little bit here, a little bit of mechanics there, and then all of a sudden, here you go. Here's everything. I hope you get it. We're gonna tell you as you go along all of this at one point, and if you need help, just go to the data points and just read all of that shit. That's not how you do things. Someone should have kept his ass in line. It was like, yo, the pacing for this, you need to make sure that the pacing is on beat and it's a gradual situation. It's like it's not even a linear gradual. It's just like, damn, all over there. It's like, what the fuck? Now I got it, but I can understand for people that don't normally play obscure games or games that are not Call of Duty or not, Battlefield or something like that. I get that. You know, if you don't normally play those type of games and you want your game to sell, then you can't do things like that. You cannot. I think he's kind of when he said that he wants to start from zero. I guess in his mind he's probably like, damn, I kind of fucked up because I ended up unnecessarily getting a bad rep for this shit. I think that's what really was happening. I mean, let's be honest here. I mean, it wasn't pretty. I mean, it's game pretty much. I mean, you had some people that love the game, but it pretty much got slaughtered. And the Metacritic is still going down for that game. Like people are still reviewing it and still not liking it. So I mean, you did something wrong, and you got to look at that criticism as I need to do better. And I think that's what he's doing when he says he would start from zero. I think he would take what worked, and then you would you go from there, see what didn't work, and then you would create your work based off of those things. You're going to have to bend the knee to the general public if you want to stay in business. You can't just do whatever the fuck you want to do. You have to bend the knee, and that's what I mean by making it easier. Everybody can sit there and scarf and roll their eyes and turn their nose up and shit like that. But at the end of the day, yeah, you're gonna have to bend that knee, bend that motherfucking knee, because if you at the end of the day, you're gonna need to fucking bring home the bacon. Point blank. That's just what it is, and it's a shame that the game got hit. It got hit bad because of him not doing it. Like, okay, so I make beats or whatever the case is, and I've thought about this years ago, and it's like, do I kind of copy a little bit of what's popular now and then gradually start doing my thing when I get popular? Or do I just try to do something completely different and hope that I create a fan base, somebody hears it? And the bottom line is this: you don't do things that are radically different because people are kind of what do you call it? They're used to certain things. You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, if they're used to certain things, you can't just rapidly change it. It needs to be a gradual change so people can digest it, and that's what I mean. I want to go back to that subject that I said before about the PlayStation 5 patents, and one of the things that they had with the PlayStation 5 patents is that it collects the type of things that you're doing, what's on the screen and stuff like that. So at that point in time, my friend and I, Hellscream, he mentions, what if they can get that information and see the biometric controllers, that's what it was. So there was a rumor about the PlayStation 5 having a biometric controller where it can read the sweat in your hand, the moisture of your hand, your heart rate and stuff like that. And they could use this information to basically see what works when they're playing the game or when they're creating these scenarios within the game and what doesn't. You know what I'm saying? So if that's the case, it is possible that they could, See that, kind of like, okay, like for instance with Kojima's game, this person's heart rate dropped. Like apparently it's not exciting. You know what I'm saying? And Sony could have that information, and then they could see what is, what works and what doesn't work. I mean, the possibilities are endless when it comes to some shit like that. Yeah, it's a little pervasive. It's a little intrusive. But that's the way we're going when it comes to using these devices and stuff like that. They want our information. That's just what it is. So, I mean, at least you know if you're going to get screwed, use some fucking some fucking Vaseline. I don't know what to say. Like it's not a good thing that Sony wants to collect this information. It's not a good thing that companies in general wants to collect and basically prey on your habits and stuff like that to sell you some more shit. I don't really like that shit. But that's what it is. At least they're trying to make it work for everybody, all parties involved. And that pretty much ends what we were talking about before. I want to spend the last bit of this podcast talking about um, shit that is about the channel. I've met a couple of people here, and it just made me realize how frugal, not frugal, how fickle people are when it comes to certain things. It sucks that, how can I say it? It really sucks that people don't trust people. You know what I'm saying? Like I put out this giveaway, and I use my hard-earned money to help the channel grow and have these things, and people don't want to do anything. They don't want any parts of it. I also know some people that don't even want to work with me in terms of, and I'm not talking about there's other people. Alex is one of them. He usually comes on time and stuff like that. But our schedules are vastly different. Or I'm not talking about one of my best friends. He comes when he can. I mean, everybody has like a crazy schedule and stuff like that. But just for people that claim that they're helping with the growing of a channel and stuff like that, and I can help you with this, and I feel like, I swear to God, this is the nigga mentality. It's like I don't feel like it. Like I had this channel, people subscribe to my channel, they don't even review the content that subscribe to the channel. It's like, oh, I'm not gonna review that shit. Why should I? Why should I review it? That's not conducive to what I want to do, because I guess we're in the same market or same competition. It just sucks. No one wants to, and it's usually in the black community too. I wanted to kind of put that out there, and it just kind of stinks that you don't have people of the same race kind of build each other up. It just sucks when I see shit like that. So I gotta start doing things on my own, which is why I'm doing what I'm doing today. Um, if anybody is trying to create a podcast or create any type of like situation where you're trying to grow like a YouTube channel and stuff like that, they know exactly what I feel like. You know what I mean? You meet these people, they claim that they can help or whatever the case is, what the fuck ever it is, and they fall through every time. They don't review your content. They say shit that they don't really mean. Here's some advice that I have for you guys, right? You're going to have to grab your balls and do it on your own. Point blank, period. Don't rely on anybody. You got to do it on your own. Start your own fucking empire. Bottom line. If you meet other YouTubers, they say, well, you want to network with people? I have never had a good experience with networking with people. It never really helps you. You may get the occasional retweet or whatever the case is, but it's like no one wants to be involved. They got their own shit that they want to make popular and stuff like that. And it's just, I don't know. Yeah, I'm a little bitter about some things that's going on. I mean, it just sucks, but I'm actually making it my own, and I'm learning how to do things on my own without the intervention of other people, because it's hard to have a situation where you can't rely on people, so you're gonna have to do things yourself. You have to. I mean, like the Avengers movie, I'll do it myself. It is what it is. But thank you guys for watching my video. I really appreciate it. I didn't think I was going to run this long with this video, but it is what it is. It's a nice little length of video. If you want to know what I was talking about before, just hit the rewind button. I'm going to start I want to put in the comments where the video actually starts because there's like an intro thing, just in case somebody wants to join in, whatever the case is. But anyway, peace out, guys. I wanted to say this as well. The giveaway. This will be the last giveaway until The Last of Us. This new one. I was gonna do it monthly. Fuck it. No one joined. No one. We treated. No one did any of that shit. It is what it is. Peace out.